This is the Anbernic RG Cube XX, the latest in the Anbernic XX series. Today we'll be unboxing it, exploring its specs and testing in-game performance to see if it's worth picking up for under $100 or not. A quick shout out to Mech DIY for sending this unit over for review. Everything I'll be saying in this video is my honest opinion and no bias. At first glance, the RG Cube XX resembles the Anbernic RG Cube, though that model features a more powerful T820 CPU, while this one runs the H700 CPU. The square screen on the RG Cube XX is perfect for Game Boy games, thanks to its aspect ratio and Linux-based OS. If you do decide to go for the standalone model without games, it will cost you around $80, with the price rising depending on the memory card option that you go for. Each memory card comes with a range of different pre-installed games. The RG Cube XX comes in 3 different colorways: black, grey and white. I decided to go for the white, but you can choose the one that suits your style. Upon opening the box, you are greeted with the RG Cube XX in a sleek white finish. The button layout feels ideal for retro gaming, and the square screen should enhance the experience for Game Boy titles. On the back, there are textured grip handles for stability. At the bottom of the box, you'll find the instructions manual, which consists of useful shortcuts and online play instructions, plus a USB-C to USB-A charging cable. Now let's take a look at the button layout. At the top, you have the power button, the volume key, the OTG/USB port, the reset button, and a mini HDMI port. The shoulder buttons and the triggers feel comfortable and are discreet when pressed, making them ideal for gaming without disturbing others. The positioning of the shoulder buttons feel natural in the hands, and the trigger width feel ideal for my fingers. At the bottom, there are 2 high-fidelity speakers for clear audio, 2 memory card slots, and a headphone port. The textured grip on the back feels comfortable and ensures stability during long gaming sessions. Overall, when holding the handheld, the ergonomics feel great and comfortable. At the front, this features a non-stick D-pad which feels very responsive when pressed and very comfortable, alongside the XYBA buttons which feels great and are also surprisingly discreet when pressed. In my opinion, Anbernic did an excellent job when it came to the build quality of the buttons. Furthermore, the thumbsticks for me are also a pro, as they have a nice height to them for a great range of motion, and as you can see, they are not flush against the controller. This will ensure that you are not held back when playing PS1, PSP or N64 games. And in the center is a retro-inspired 3.95-inch IPS screen with a 720x720 resolution and OCA full lamination screen, which offers sharp visuals and vibrant colors. On the screen are the overall dimensions and the mass of the Anbernic RG Cube XX. Now let's go over the hardware specs to see what this retro handheld is packing. Under the hood, the RG Cube XX is powered by a H700 quad-core ARM Cortex-A53 processor running at 1.5 GHz and supported by a dual-core G31 MP2 GPU with 1 GB of LPDDR4 RAM and 32 GB of internal storage via a microSD card. This console has the essential specs to handle most retro games with ease. The Linux 64-bit operating system enhances compatibility with a wide range of game formats, while the Wi-Fi 2.4/5G and Bluetooth 4.2 connectivity allow for smooth online multiplayer gaming, streaming, and versatile controller support. The 3800 mAh battery claims to provide around 6.5 hours of gameplay. However, through my testing, I experienced around 5.5 hours, which is still great. The HDMI output enables players to connect the device to larger screens such as computers, TVs, or monitors for a more immersive experience. Sadly, at the time of recording this, I didn't have a mini HDMI to HDMI cable to hook up the RG Cube XX to my TV. I did order it, and I will drop a short video showcasing this, so make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you don't miss out. Overall, I do think this will be a cool experience, as the RG Cube XX is compatible with wired, wireless and Bluetooth controllers, catering to different gaming preferences. When powered on, the RGB ring lights are activated, and as you can see, this gives a nice touch of character to the device. There are a range of different modes that you can select from, and I'll be showcasing that later on in the video. Now let's check out the user interface, the apps and the supported emulators. The RG Cube XX supports over 30 emulators, and users have the option to add more games by transferring the ROMs to the memory card. So this handheld runs everything from the PSP and PS1 games to less demanding consoles like the Sega Saturn. The name of the games are stated on the left, and a small square image is on the right showcasing the game. Users also have the option to change the background and the icons if they get bored. Besides gaming, the device also serves as a music and video player, where you can play your own music, especially when on the go, and also read ebooks when on the go as well, which is actually awesome. The high fidelity speakers deliver impressive audio, or you can connect headphones via a wired or Bluetooth connection. In the settings, you're able to customize the lock screen duration, the screen brightness, the button I/O testing, and also the RGB ring light modes and the brightness as well. So these are the modes that you can select from. For gaming, RetroArch settings can enhance the gameplay with options like frame skips, improving the frames per second, and also adding overlays if you want. In terms of gaming, the RG Cube XX performs exceptionally well with Game Boy games, Game Boy Color, Sega, and other low-end consoles, thanks to the square screen and rich colors. The gameplay is super smooth and the audio is crisp. However, when it came to more demanding titles on the PSP, the PS1, and the N64, the console did struggle slightly. The square screen doesn't fully utilize the aspect ratio for these games, as games on these consoles require a 16.9 or greater aspect ratio for better visuals, and games like God of War and Vice City Stories did experience a bit of lag and audio issues. I did adjust the settings in RetroArch, such as incorporating frame skips, which did overall improve the performance, and I also adjusted the aspect ratio to make the image look bigger. This minimized the squinting that I had to do when playing these games. So overall, the RG Cube XX offers great value for under $100, with solid build quality, versatile features, and support of over 30 emulators. The RGB lighting, the multimedia functions, and quality buttons make it a standout choice in its price range. However, if PSP and PS1 performance are essential for you, consider the TrimUI Smart Pro, which I've also reviewed on the channel previously. I'll link that review as an end screen at the end of this video, and also as a pop-up right now if you do want to watch that. If you are planning on picking up the Anbernic RG Cube XX, I'll leave a link down in the description below for you to check out. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more tech and gaming reviews. Take care everyone, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.
It's not a game, it's a rich thing.